There we go. And good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator. 22 on Maypole Farm, and I have a crop to harvest. So last week we did complete all of the canola harvesting on the farm, and if you look to our right you can see I did do the headlands on every single barley field and baled them. So we have a nice supply of straw bales down at the cow shed barn area place, and we now are setting off into the oat fields, which I think is a little premature because I do believe it's due to rain shortly. We'll make the turn at the end of this and we'll take a look, but I have a nasty suspicion that we got about 11 minutes before the rain comes. And I wasn't paying attention to that. But anyway, I did get all of the barley done and in, so that's a good start. We have the class Arian following us around with the baler. It's nice. It's actually nice to be able to have a bigger tractor on the baler. The Fendt I've swapped out. That's now doing some rolling on what we want to plant as grass. But I'll have to get the John Deere out to plant it, I think. Can't remember if the Fendt has the horsepower for that. And yeah, all we really have left to do is harvest the oats today. We can forage the barley later if we have time. Not sure that's going to work out. But as I've said before, we're in no rush to get the barley done as silage, just, yeah, so long as it's there by winter, and it's July, so that's not really a thing. Okay, let's put cruise control on, check the incoming weather. Yes, 11 o'clock is when the weather comes. So, very short time before that happens. Oh, let's fish the tea bag out of the tea. That's a good start for the day. Yay. And at least have a sip of tea before it gets cold. Okay, we have been once round this field and we're already close. I'm seeing drops of rain already. So I think turn that off, back it up, crash into the class Arian probably. Oh geez, yes, class Arian's in a pickle. So extend that. You're doing that. You need to stop following. Back up a little. And we can raise that, turn that off. Go find the John Deere. Looks like the mulch is very close to done, so that's good. Oops, excuse me while I drive up the fence. Again, with the driving up the fence. Okay, we'll unload that. That'll let us close up that thing there. So I'll close the lid and fold in the pipe. We'll try and keep that as dry as we can. Turn the engine off, turn the engine off button there. Okay, so that's all done. So while it rains, you're sat there. Let's figure out how to put the cover on. Close cover. Oh, completely different button. What do I want to do? Turn that off. So fortunately there is access back here, which we're generally not using, because obviously easier to access the field from the yard. But we'll take this slightly damp grain down to the grain mill and start that processing. As you may have guessed, I've already taken some barley down there, just again to get things rolling. But we have a ton of that to take care of. I have fed the cows with the grass, which I think I had running last week while we were doing the canola. So cow food is well sufficient. We'll take a review of all the things in a minute. Oops. There we go. So I did find out today, Farmer Cop did a pre-look at Glen Lethen, and it is available on King Mods, and I assume since he announced it was, that it's an authorized release. Cavalier Roy is planning to release that to Giants over the next few weeks, so we might get to see it sometime towards the end of June, beginning end of June, end of July. So it's a way off official release and console availability, but I'm on a PC, so I might download that and take a much closer look at it and see what I think. We already have a pallet of flour. That's good. Now I think I turned off the grain door tip on this, so we should dump this quite quickly. So I will jump out and we'll turn on the oats production. Activate. Okay, so that's good. While we're here, yeah, cows now have 416,000 litres of food. So that should keep them going for a few months. We'll probably have to buy some more maize silage over the next few weeks. But for right now, let's get everything running. I think we're looking at about 2 hours of rain. So we won't be able to get back to the fields until about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So for right now, I have the opportunity to ship all the barley to the grain mill, and potentially we'll get a look at probably moving another 3 or 4 truckloads of milk, I think. Check that as well. Because like I said, we are producing milk at quite a frightening rate. And so long as I've got about 6,000 litres, 600,000 litres at the dairy, we can sell the excess, which brings in a nice little bit of extra cash. I just wasn't paying attention to how much I actually have in the cowshed. Looks like our mulcher has completed. So I'll probably fold that up and leave it in the yard for a while. We can't really mulch anything until the fields dry out a little bit. But we do have, we have 3 canola fields, so we've mulched one of them. That's now ready to seed. I'll probably just do a seed and fertilize it later. Okay, that didn't go quite as planned. We'll drive all the way forwards and then get it lined up on the pipe. There we go. We've only got 34,000 litres of barley. Well, we're not expecting a big amount. What was I going to check? The cows. The cows have 29,000. We're not in a big hurry to take one load of the stuff that you take. One load of milk down to the dairy or anywhere else for that matter. So it looks like we're just shipping the barley right now. And I've got the big tractor running on the small trailer because, well, it's available and it's not full of manure. Oh, I should check the BGA. We might be able to do a couple of shipments down to the BGA. We are getting close to where we can afford to upgrade the BGA or replace the BGA with the big industrial BGA, which costs 250,000, which processes I assume it processes more. It definitely holds more. So once we've got it filled up, I mean, I can pretty much take all of the manure out of the cowshed. It will take me a long time to ship that down at 30,000 litres a time for however much we've got. The slurry will take even longer. I mean, we can hold 150 or 500,000 litres of slurry in the industrial BGA, and we've got 1.9 million, and we can transfer about 10,000 litres at a time. What I might do is look at leasing a big slurry tank with no attachments, just so I can run the slurry up to the BGA in as fewer trips as possible. But we'll worry about that a little bit later. First things first, we'll do this job. I suppose I could speed up time. Now, if we do move to Glenleithen, and I am definitely leaning heavily towards that, I will probably instigate a minimum time rate on the playthrough. I haven't decided whether I'll say we must be running at least 3 minutes, or 3 times, 5 times, 6 times, whatever, but we will definitely do something so that game days are shorter. Again, that limits how many contracts we can do. We'll keep the 1 contract day per month rule in place. I will possibly get rid of the lease to own and instead use the enhanced loan system, and limit leases to 1 piece of equipment or 1 set of equipment. So if I leased a sprayer and a front tank, that's 1 piece of equipment, or that's 1 set of equipment. If I lease a harvester, I can lease the header and header trailer with it, but that's it. I can't then lease a baler or a grain cart or whatever else. So the farm has to own the majority of equipment, as with most things, I try to avoid leasing, definitely long-term leasing, but I think I've gone a little against that with the lease to own. We've been retaining equipment on lease for long-term so that I can buy it. Looking at what we have at the moment in the bank, I could buy all of our leased equipment now. Not going to, but I could do. I think I forgot to roll the lid shut. Or we could, look at buying some more fields which are harvest ready. Close to harvest ready. That's a good looking field on our right. It's not ready to harvest yet. And the advantage with it not being harvest ready is we can, at the very least, run a sprayer over it to get the nitrogen to ideal levels, even if we can't improve lime or anything else. So how are we doing? Okay, it's 11:30 and it's still raining. Also might add expanded store sales, which allows the store to offer more equipment on their sales. Not sure about that. So I did add the forage pack DLC to our playlist, so we have access to a lot of flat tractors. I'm not sure there's much on that list that I would consider we need on this farm. Back that up, enter. yeah, not much on the sales. If we go to the home forage pack, couple of flat tractors, that crazy thing, couple of mowers, not really worried about those, not so much that. These things, the merges, you know what? I would consider those might be useful. That's huge and probably impractical, and that too is huge and impractical, but the merge, it's expensive. Let's go to here and look at windrowers. So there's that one, which is 149.5 meters, 139 meters. Or that one, which sits attached to the back of the tractor. And that might be a good thing. I do like things that strap to the back of a tractor, 7 meter width. So it's kind of useful. Okay, this is the last load of barley. We do have diesel at the tank. We'll get that filled. Close enough. Going to slow down time a little. There's the weather. Yeah, 2 o'clock it should be drying out. Now, I think from what I've seen of Glenleithen, it's quite a significantly smaller plots of land in the fields. So we'd probably be looking at smaller equipment in general. I don't mind that, but we might have multiple seeders, multiple harvesters, just so that we can get all of the jobs done. But it will cost us more in wages if we do that. The other map I was considering was Saxthorpe, which is based in East Anglia. Oops, excuse me. And it's an interesting map because who did the preview on it? Disturbed Simulations did the preview on it, and he pointed out something. Driving around UK maps, I'm kind of, it's, in general it feels right, but there's something missing. And Saxthorpe brings in one of those something missing things, which is normally you're driving down country lanes, you don't have a hedgerow at the level of the road. There's a small berm, and what farmers have done is they've dumped dirt along the side of the path of the road or the track to prevent people from getting into their fields. And the hedges have grown at the top of the berm, so there's space for wildlife, but you've got a ridge of dirt, grass-covered dirt, that sidelines along the road. The upshot is, if you screw up a corner on a motorcycle, you don't end up driving through a hedge, you end up driving into a dirt bank. Now, they're not very steep, but they're there. Okay, so that is done. And one of the reasons why I've not been too worried about using that small trailer rather than cleaning out the big one is because we're so close to the farmyards that it's no big deal to trip over to the silo, dump the cart, and get back to the field in a very short order. So that's it for grain shipments, so yay for that. But if we, and the other thing is, if we do move, I won't be starting from scratch. I may run it on hard mode, I may run it on normal. And I don't know how many tractors I'll need, but I'll probably do 2 sort of capable tractors with the horsepower to run all of the equipment, and then some smaller tractors that obviously cheaper to run, and I can run some of the small equipment on them. Okay, you're done. So once we got the John Deere back home and set up, I'll jump over to the Fendt, and we'll bring that up to the farm.